extra today.
Oh, I'm so fucking extra. Read. Motherfucker. Okay, so divine timing, we've just decided.
Divine timing. I know we decided 2 seconds ago. We are not prepared as per usual.
Because 2 seconds ago I was recording the ghost in my house, and we were like, "Oh, we're going to talk about ghosties." No, let's continue to talk about divine timing.
Yeah.
As was planned about 10 minutes ago. So spontaneity, I think, is the name of the game. There's so much weird shit going on in my house, you would not believe it. But we'll talk about ghosties another day. Who are they and what do they want? That's going to be my absolute.
Sorry, I hit my mic.
Ultimate.
So divine timing. Let's get into this because I feel like you and I right now, we feel like we're on the precipice, like we're on the cusp of something that we're just about to tip over into. And there is this feeling of coming into our own, and that's where we're on our own personal journeys. That's where we're at very much right now.
Yeah. You know, the thing that I've recently started to kind of associate with divine timing more than anything else is within like human design. So the learning and the exploration and experimentation with self, and obviously that has a huge part within astrology, and you know, so bringing together of many different theologies, you know, Western, Eastern, etc. Different esoteric, you know, what's some majiggies, for want of a better word. And the idea, what's some majiggies? Yeah,
That's a technical term, okay? It's a technical term.
I'm an educated woman. What's some majiggies?
Which majiggies? Technical term, educated woman.
You heard it here first. And the idea that if you had right now everything that you think you want, how well would you deal with that? Like, what would you do with that? What the fuck? Like, I know for a fact that I'd be like, if suddenly, you know, because this is what we talk about when we talk about alignment, when we talk about what's in alignment for you and stuff, what you think you want consciously versus what you genuinely want from a subconscious level. You know, let's say business wise, we want, I don't know, a fuck ton of clients, and we want like all this fucking money and all this shit. I know I want to just create impact, but if I had all of that immediately, if I had all of that tomorrow, would I not shit myself and not know what the fuck to do with it? Would I be frivolous? Would I be incompetent with what I've been given, with what I've received? You know, would I be incompetent with that? Would I know what to do with it? How well would I deal with it? And would I thrive within that? Or would
Can you hold what's coming to tomorrow's Louise today? And I know time is a construct and weird timey-wimey things, but I'm using tomorrow and today as very just terms,
yeah,
to make it understandable to our puny human brains.
Let's use linear time as a thing right now. So if I wake up tomorrow and suddenly had all the shit that I think I want, I wouldn't know what the fuck. I don't know if I would be able to handle it, if I would have the capability or the capacity or the a level of responsibility that I would need in order to expand within that. Or would I fuck it and chuck it? You know, would I throw it away? Would I sabotage it? Would I ruin it? And I think for me, this is the premise of divine timing. Things come to you, I think, just before you're ready for them. Just before. So you're like, yeah.
So it's that uncomfortability of growing.
Right. And then you either reject or you go, do you know what? Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah.
Right. And so that to me is divine timing. It's not everything happens for a reason. It's not, you know, it's not that. It's what you want, what you desire, will come to you, but you have to really determine what it is that you desire. Number one, because sometimes what we think we desire isn't what we desire, and so therefore, and then also the physical and emotional preparation, spiritual preparation for that. If I were to suddenly have everything that I think I want right now, and I woke up tomorrow with it, how the fuck? You know, I'm not ready. I'm not ready
I
for
think
what
I would,
I
I
want.
think I would, I think I would shit myself.
I'd shit my fucking little tiny knickers.
I think I would shit myself, because you and I both have big dreams of where we want to go and who we want to be. And it's not necessarily that we want to have all of these, we don't want to have these like huge businesses that are bringing in millions upon millions upon millions. Um, but we want to have enough where we're comfortable and we can survive. But I think the other thing with divine timing is it's not just getting into your desires and right before, it's nervous system regulation.
Yes.
Because
Thank you.
if we are so used to operating at a certain level that we have to learn how to regulate our system in order to hold more. Um, and sometimes in order to hold more, we have to learn to hold less. And that's what I am walking through right now. And I'm like, it's real. I'm gonna be honest, it's real fucking scary
It's fucking
holding
horrible.
less.
Yeah.
It is.
It's ego. It's ego. It's ego. Um, it's so important that I had to reiterate that 3 times. It's ego, it's ego, it's ego. The ego says it's this, and then the self said that it says right, and then but the ego says I want this, and then it says yeah, do you? It's the projected versions of success, the societal expectations of this, and these. Um, if you can't identify that for yourself, then we're a bit fucked. And then no wonder it doesn't come to you, or it does come to you and you're like, oh shit, I don't know how to handle this in this moment. I mean, listen, when people, and we'll go into like the business realm right now, but when there are people out there that are peddling success to you from under the guise of champagne fucking photo shoots on yachts and bullshit, which is all wicked, like more power to you, girl. Not what I want. I don't want to. Number one, I don't want to be on a fucking yacht. Number two, I'm a prosecco girl, and I'll try. But champagne is a bit like, tastes like what I imagine my capsule litter tray to taste like. Thirdly, if I was on a yacht with champagne, I would be like, why is anyone taking photos right now? Surely we should just be enjoying the moment. So there's all of that bullshit. But I just feel that there is this external thing that we all need to relinquish and like shed that shit of what we think is expected of us, or what we think we need to live up to in order to feel content within ourselves. And what's been peddled to all of us is, if you are a person that simply wants to have enough to sustain your lifestyle, to be able to be generous to your family and your friends and your, and whoever else you want to be generous to,
Community, charity.
right, and then do all of that, then no, that's a limiting belief. Why wouldn't you want more? You are operating under a limiting belief, because you can have more, you can have more, you can have more. And then to me, I think like, okay, yeah, right, cool, because I do believe that abundance and the moreness just magnifies those great parts of ourselves. Like, if you're a generous person, you're only going to get more generous. If you have more, you're going to give more, right? But equally, it's like, but with more comes more responsibility. And I'm like, responsibility is the terror that lives under my bed. I don't want that. And I literally have got no desire whatsoever to have to worry about, oh, is my private jet, like bothering my fucking interest on my 401k fucking
Can't
what?
wait to get.
I don't
I
care.
can't wait to get into this. I can't wait to get into
I
this. God.
literally, the only thing I want, Heidi, is to just simply not have to think for even a split second when I want to be generous. I don't
Yep.
want to say, I want to be able to go, here you go. And I know that the more I make from people that can afford it and can invest in the beautiful things that I help people with, then the better equipped and the more freedom I have to be able to give of myself more freely with those that at this point in time are unable
Mm-hmm.
to afford that. And that is not and I won't fucking film it and put it on fucking TikTok. You know, I'm not going to be like a fucking angel investor. I'm just going to be like, dude, you've got to like, listen, man, I'm going to, not even my money, my time, my care, my love, my effort. That's what I want to be able to do without having to think, well, actually, right now, if you come to me and you need an hour of my time, that's going to, realistically, that fucks over my clients that are paying for my time. I don't want to have to live in that world. I want
No.
to be like, oh, I love this person. I'm going to spend some time with them and help them.
So
And
here's where everything becomes a little bit muddled because there is a big, huge catch-22 double-edged sword out there. We're not allowed, if we say we want the sustainable life, like you said, then we're limiting ourselves. But at the same time, we're also told we're not allowed to desire or want things. We're told that, oh, desire is wrong. It's wrong to want to make money. You should just want to help because you're a good person. And it's, yeah, right. So that's the other thing we have to get into too. If we're talking about this, is
yeah,
there's two sides to this fucking coin, which is keeping us stuck, right? Which is keeping us dysregulated, which is keeping our ego in check, in play, and not allowing us to be fully ourselves in order for this divine timing to move into the time that we want.
these
Because
are,
we're right. It's like you've got it's not even an angel and a devil on the shoulder, it's two devils.
it's the fucking world is a pile of cunts, right? But okay, so we're in two different areas now. So what I was talking about, I'm talking about materialistic gain and this and this and this, and us saying no, it's not a limiting belief for me to just want to
Enough.
be free to give altruistically to other people and feel legitimized in that, and knowing that I can give without it having a detrimental effect on me, my income, my energy, etc., etc. Now, what you're talking about is something entirely fucking different, which is the
I'm just Vanna Whiting over here.
I know, I'm enjoying it, and I'm helping. I don't know. I do know fucking kind of a bit of sign language, but right now I'm just like, I'm more into like, and so here is this fucking bullshit box, and I've seen this recently, which is if you are, and I've had this conversation for like fucking 10, 15, 20 years with people. If you have a gift, spiritual or otherwise, if you have a gift and a capacity and an ability to help people who are in need, like, and I mean need from like a desire to like an actual really in the depths of despair need, you're not allowed to charge for it. You should just be giving that shit away for free. Well, fuck you for one motherfucker.
With the
Because
exception is if you are musically inclined, if you are an actor or in sports, then you can make jillions. That's the only exception.
that's what I was
But
going to say. Because if you are somebody who is kicking around
so
a
we're on the same page.
fucking air, kicking around a bag of air on a fucking field, and you're getting paid like £1 million per quarter to what? Entertain some men who wear a little shirt and say, oh, I'm just like my favourite football man. That's legitimised. But as a woman with medicinal fucking powers. There's a woman, right, and this is the example that I will give, and I don't know her name, so I'll apologize for that, but Annie something or another, and she's got a book called The Naked Mind, and it's to do with moderating alcohol, and she helps alcoholics to break free from addiction, and in a way that is not disciplined or willpower led. It's psychological, it's spiritual, and it's in depth, and it's very, very beautiful. And I've been doing her like free online, I'll call it a challenge, if you will. Now we know in the land of online fucking whatever, we know that it will culminate in an upsell, right? That's not to say that what she's delivered throughout that time is not useful. She is delivering fucking value. She's delivering things that will literally change lives. Now, if you want to spend, I don't know, 150 bucks, I think it is, like literally $150, or maybe it's $200 a month, to join the course or whatever, or just buy a book, right? Whatever. And people in the fucking comments are saying, well, if you really genuinely wanted to help people, you wouldn't be trying to take their money. And I'm like, you can fuck yourself, because this woman is literally delivering medicine. Now, why the hell is she not allowed to charge for that medicine? Medicine women, magical women, why the fuck are we told that our gifts should be given for free?
Sorry.
Patriarchy. So my issue with this, and again, divine timing, because this all came to me in a divine timing kind of way, is that, I mean, I've started to write comments, and then I've deleted them because I'm like, listen, I'm not getting embroiled. But my issue is, you know, I serve and I deserve, right? I serve, I deserve. And money is energy. It's an energetic exchange. Now, as somebody with alcohol issues and knowing people with alcoholism and drug issues and everything else, if somebody said, right, 200 bucks a month to change your fucking life, and me go, oh, that's too expensive. Well, I spend double that a week. That's just me not allowing myself to invest in myself. When you invest in something, you are putting skin in the game. If it's free, you don't have to do it, do you? It's free. When you've got something riding on it, when you put some skin in the game, when you've paid for it, when you've invested in it, you've invested in yourself. Therefore, you are more willing or more likely to see it through to its fruition. And so, you know, and then there's a whole heap of other reasons that I have about, like, I serve and I deserve. But in this instance, the divine timing really was more about showing me that there are still these cunts in the world that think that they need something delivered to them for free. Oh, well, if you help somebody overcome something, you should do it out of the goodness of your heart. Well, my heart is fucking pure, but how the hell then do I put fucking food on my table? How do I keep a roof over my head? How, you know, I would love to be altruistic, and then potentially divine timing will allow me to have clients that then perpetuate this ability to give freely of myself to others. But in the meantime, I can't fucking do that.
No. That's why when we talk about divine timing and you're sitting there being like, why isn't it happening? Why isn't it here yet? Why isn't it happening? It's because this constant battle of
I dribbled.
You should want more and you shouldn't want it all. And nervous system regulation between that, because how can you stay regulated and how can you step into this full authentic version of yourself to hold all of this stuff that you want when you were constantly bombarded with messages saying, want more, want more, don't want. It's not good to want, but you should want, but you, right?
Example. A massive example. Sorry, this is just fucking like
Okay.
right in the smack in the spammed me. So earlier on, you know, I've been like on a 2.5 week hype of like me. I mean, I don't know when this fucking episode is going to be published, but currently I'm 2 weeks in after having like a proper mental breakdown, mentally be right. And so sorted the house out. Alice came round. We fucking did all the shit. Blah, blah, blah. But I was still in this like impulse buying. So I bought some stuff online, and then the stuff came, and then I left it by the side of my couch in the front room, and it's been there for a month. And today I opened it, and I'm like, I mean, in that moment, I knew that it's the buying, not the receiving, that is my, you know, my thing. So what did you say before this? Because I was going somewhere with this. There was a real good point.
I said this is dichotomy of you're not allowed to want, but also want more all the time. And somewhere our nervous system gets ping-ponged back and forth, and we can't regulate it because of these conflicting messages constantly coming at us.
Yeah. So the wanting, the receiving, the wanting to want, the not wanting to want. Oh, fuck. I had a really good point about this fucking package.
Listen, I'll go on my stuff and then it'll come to you. Don't at me because you need, what do you want to sit here in silence?
No, I think I'm going to be fucking silent. No, I was going to talk through it. So, and then so today I opened up the package today, and it was 2 terrible lipsticks, terrible like lip liner, like lipstick, lip gloss, and I was like, these are the wrong, straight in the bin, right? And then there was like a palette, like an eyeshadow palette, which I don't even remember. I've got so many good palettes. I don't even know why I bought this one. I don't even think I did. At this point, I'm thinking they got my order wrong. And a pair of shorts that's size small. And I think I definitely didn't order small. Like, you know me, I'm at on the larger side of medium kind of girl. I've been not, so now I'm like eggy about it, but then I just think, oh, whatever, it doesn't matter. But the wanting, the having, the needing is really what it boils down to. And there has been some significant synchronicities in the last few days for me, and we'll go into that in a bit. But certainly in terms of once you start getting real about what you do want, what you don't want, even just internally, something shifts, and people will either remove themselves from you, or people will start to like edge their way towards you. And I've really, really noticed this more, as I say, in the last few days, when I'm just like, you know, when you start to go, and it's quite scary at times. It's quite like disconcerting.
100%, because I am the queen. Like I'm gonna be honest here. I'm the queen of like, apparently I'm the queen of resistance. Here's my crown.
Oh, she is. Don't let her tell you any different. She is the queen of resistance. I'm just the princess.
I mean, when I first started my tarot business, I knew eventually that I would get into teaching it. I just wasn't sure when yet. And then we're going to go way back to like when I first started the tarot business, like a couple of years ago. I'm now in my 3rd year in this business. I got this thing that I kept getting this voice in my head anytime I would do like my morning meditation, and it would be like September. And I was like, and I got it on the spring equinox, and then September, fall equinox 2023, I finally got the download to like, this is how you're laying out your program. And so I was like, bingo, it's still not out yet. Because I'm like, in my mind, I have these logical steps that I need to complete. And I know people would be like, you don't need to do that. Like, fuck off. There's things that I want to do in a certain order for my own reasons, okay?
It'll come when it comes. It'll come when it comes.
Since I started this business, the one thing that I have had people come into my world, when are you teaching it? From day one, I have barely had a client for a reading, and people are like, when are you teaching it? And I was like, well, I'm not if we're talking about divine timing, there's also the point of you being honest with yourself as if you are ready for it. And now it's only now that I'm, like I was talking to you earlier when I sent you that voice note, that now I feel comfortable calling myself a teacher and stepping into that. Why? I needed those 2 years before to get really goddamn comfortable with reading, with working with people and clients, how to show up online. I needed those 2 years to walk through each of those cards personally. So I had a very deep connection and personal connection to them if I wanted to teach in my way, because I don't want to deliver anything less than that is good for me.
You know, that is, and we've talked about this behind the scenes as well, slow success. And people are so hell-bent on like, get there quicker, fast, messy fucking action. Like, I'm all for taking action in order to find alignment, because the more we do, the more we trial, the more we error, the more we adjust, the more we move, the more action we take, the more we can adjust our sails and everything. I agree with that. I'm not for like fast, messy, committed action, because like you end up somewhere you don't want to be. So you roll with the fucking punches and you allow yourself the capacity to move, change, and everything else. And the other thing is you allow yourself the capacity to deliver what you want to deliver. But when people keep fucking asking you for something, you have to step up and you have to respond, and you have to be the person that says, do you know what? Why am I not doing this? Is because I'm not fucking quite comfortable with it, but everyone is telling me that I'm the person that they need in order to show them this, teach them this, do this for them, do this with them. So then, okay, you know what? That is just shed the fucking ego, do the fucking thing, and say, okay, like we've had a conversation like several times, Heidi, when I say like, oh, you know more about astrology than I do. And you're like, oh, well, I don't really know jack shit. Rah, rah. Oh, you don't talk like that, but like, you know, you're like, oh, I don't know fuck all. Oh, definitely you don't talk like that. But you're like, oh, I know nothing. I only know this, and I'm like,
well, I'll be hooked.
well, I'll come down your chimney and I'll tell you all about the fucking moon. So, right, but so you always, you know, fucking undermine yourself in my humble, as if it's ever humble opinion, where you say, listen, I don't know shit. And you know, the sign of an intelligent person is their capacity to tell other people that they know that they don't know shit, right? Because a fucking idiot thinks they know everything, right? So I respect you for saying, oh, I know jack shit, and I love you for that. But also you do have that depth of knowledge, and you are now moving deeper into that knowledge. And people are not just asking you, oh, tell me about me. They're saying, tell me how to tell me about me, and tell me how I can also help other people with this, because that's how significant it is. And that's the divine timing of what's happened with you. And yes, you have kind of been pushing against it and resisting it, because you believe that you are somebody, which is true. You help us see our soul self and communicate with soul, right? And you are that person, absolutely. But oh, so much more insightful is your capacity to imbue other people with their own capacity to be able to do that. It's like the give a man a fish thing, all right? That's what you're doing, right?
I literally just told the client that today. I was like, I'm gonna teach you to fish, honey, don't worry.
But the difference is you give the fish and you teach them how to fish. It ain't one or the other. It ain't one or the other. It's not mutually exclusive. The way that you do it is fucking beautiful. And now people are literally asking you out loud, show me what you know. Teach me what you know. Show me the way, Heidi, develop a cult. I'm joking. Let's all.
Oh my God, no, you're gonna laugh. Okay, I have to run, so we gotta pause this and I can cut this part out.
No, because if I pause, it will just come back again.
Well, I have to go get Delia.
Yeah, I know, but if I pause it,
okay.
Oh, do you hear my voice? If I pause the recording, when we
Yeah, but no, me asking for the pause, I can cut out. one of the things and questions Jana asked me in my stories today was, are tarot readers part of a cult? And I was like, no, they're not.
Yes, the cult of awesome women.
But then I was like, but I should start one. I hear cult leaders make a lot of money. I should start a cult.
You don't need to listen. You're already in one.
Watch my stories while I'm gone. You'll love them.
How dare you? You're already in a cult. That's how good it is. You don't even fucking know, man.
I know. Hey, I'll be back if you need to stop the recording. I gotta go get Dahlia.
I'm gonna pause and then I'll. So we just had
All right.
quick pause.
Yeah, we had a quick pause. We had a bathroom break, queefing, all that good stuff.
Just a mini queef.
And Lou was saying that what she respects about me, because I was admitting that I'm the queen of resistance. Because since I started my business, people were pushing me to teach, and I was like, I'm not there yet.
Yeah.
And so Lou was commenting on the fact that I know more about astrology than she does, and that I come on and still say I don't know. Even though I know, like I know enough to get by in astrology, but I always preface it with, I know enough to get by, but I don't know, like I'm not an astrologer yet.
More the preemptive nature of, sorry, I'm digging a candle out of the depths of this thing right now. It's more that, it's not that you say, like, if it comes up and you go, oh, well, you know what, I don't really know too much, but I do know this, this, and this. That's not really the problem. It's when I have outed you in previous episodes, where yes. I'm like, oh, well, you know, Heidi knows about this, this, and this, and I know jack shit. And you go, well, no, I don't know anything but. And I'm like, oh, girl, give yourself credit for what you do know, because no, you don't know as much as the person that knows it all. But you know more than the average person in any given room, right? If you
am working on that.
And therefore you need to just be secure in your ability to know what you know, because it isn't just book knowledge, it's not just academia, it's wisdom as well. It's wisdom, it's insight, it's intuition. And so stand in that truth and say, like, oh, well, this is my experience, this is what I'm aware of, this is what I know. And I think when we find that balance between what we know, what we don't, then we're not condescending to people, and we're telling people. But often me and you have found each other condescending because
Dee. Thank you.
Because of our nature, we are our nature is to inform, right? Our nature is to say, oh, yeah, this thing, right? So you know, the other day I told you something and you said, oh yeah, that's because of this, and I was like, yeah, I know, hence why, blah blah blah. When I didn't know you so well, I used to think, do you think I don't know that? Like without even being rude about it, like, and without hating you, I didn't think like, oh, you're a bitch for it. I was just like, why does she think I don't know? Like, do you not think I fucking know? Right? But then I know I do the same thing to you, and you're like, yes. Because we are.
I mean, well, to throw back to our episode about us being Aquarians, Aquarians things are that we know.
We know. But then we annoy each other with our knowing, and we're like, yeah, I know. Yeah.
And like, then but we don't know that the other knows, but we know that they know. Like, I know Lou knows, and Lou knows that I know, but we are so used to talking to people who don't know, yeah, that we explain, because that's how we're used to talking. But I am working on that. And that's another part of divine timing, is knowing where you're at, being very, very aware of where you are at, and owning, and I'm working on that, where you're at with certain things in your life. Like with me, I'm
just the heart of all the men that have ever crossed me.
Sure, you're not a Pisces with that. Calling back to the episode where we talked about Pisces being serial killers.
Oh yeah, crossover.
That was all, yeah, that was also in our okay. So in the show notes, we're gonna link the episode where we talk about being Aquarians, because we talk about
All Pisces are
Aquarians
serial
knowing and
killers.
Pisces being serial killers. We looked it up. Okay, it was research. Um,
It will totally will be.
so that with divine timing, that's another thing why we feel like it's taking so long and we want everything now. We can't hold it now because we can't even hold ourselves in our full capacity
Oh
now.
wow, Heidi, it's not even, and you know this as well. Like what you're saying is so true. That as well. But the biggest thing is for Aquarians is that we know what is yet to be known. And the most difficult part of it is that we never get any credit for it. We get dismissed because of it. We get laughed at. We get like, and then 6 months later, everyone is in it. And then it's like, oh, and now you're doing it because of this. It's like, no, bitch, I fucking invented this. I fucking invented. And I'm like, I have had to real cool my rage about my knowing. And then for years, I just denied my knowing because of that, because I was so upset, really hurt actually, by the fact that I was just never acknowledged for the fact that I knew it before use lot. And then use lot started doing it. And I'm like, I literally had the shit kicked out of me once, right?
Yes, you're grapes.
You are,
This is why we typically don't do this when the girls are home.
yeah, but eat the grapes, girl, eat the grapes. When I was a teenager, I was wearing a fur coat, and then I had the shit kicked out of me because I was wearing a fur coat. And 6 months later, this girl was wearing a fur coat, and I'm just like, dude, and I'm like, no, actually, I was wearing my nan's fur coat, and then I bought one from a charity shop. 6 months, and then had the shit kicked out of me for that. And 6 months later, she bought one from like Topshop, from a high street like retailer. And I was like, I'm not a dedicated follower of fashion. I'm certainly not a trendsetter. I just do what I want to do when I want to do it. And then it just feels like suddenly other people are doing that. But like when I'm doing it, no one likes it. But then when they want to do it, everyone dismisses the fact that I was doing it like fucking ages ago, which is quite frustrating. And I don't care at this point. I'm 42. I don't freaking care anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
Teenager, it was infuriating because it was like, why the hell am I getting grief for this? Why am I getting shit for this? Like, when, sorry, you don't have the foresight that I have. But as you get older as an Aquarian, we don't see 6 months into the future. We start seeing a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. And that is what is disruptive. And that's what's happened in my business. I was saying what I'm saying now, like 10 years ago. And suddenly now it's correct. And I'm like, are you kidding me? And it's
Yeah. When I started mine, it was I didn't want to play into all these marketing ploys that other people were using and pressure people into purchasing on and cold DMing and all of that. And now people are starting to change, right? Starting to change their ways. And they're like, oh, we don't cold DM anymore. We don't do pressury sales taxes anymore. Let's talk about how to sell softly and ethically. And I'm like,
you're like, yeah, been done that.
been doing that for the last little bit. Thanks, babes.
It's exhausting. And the other thing is when we have these conversations with each other, it's also infuriating because although we know we agree, we're both like still in that attitude of like, it was me first.
I'm sorry, I laughed at your candle because it went, and all I could think was,
yeah, I know. It's like, boom. I know. These candles have got really long wicks, but they get too long. If that's not an analogy for men, I don't know what is. Yeah, these are
so I think when it comes to people who are listening and divine timing, let us know in the comments what your thoughts are on divine timing. Let us know. Like, I would love to know what you're either wishing we're here now, but that you're now after listening to this, you're like, I can't hold it quite yet. Yeah, and I mean, if it's a super secret dream, fine. It's a super secret dream that you don't feel comfortable sharing, don't share it. But you can also alternatively at least share that, yeah, you know what? There's something I really desire. And after listening to this, I'm like, I don't know if I can hold it yet. And now I know where I have to do the work in order to hold it.
I think the biggest thing is with divine timing is everyone's trying to get there quicker. Everyone's trying to like reach this goal or whatever it may be, or reach
Timeline collapsing.
outcome.
Let's get there fast. Everything had, I think, you know what?
You can't
I
hold that.
think
You can't hold the space for that shit unless you are ready.
no.
And you know what will happen is if it comes to you right now and you're not ready for it, well then it's never going to last, and so it's pointless. It's pathetic. It's pointless. It's
Yeah, there's something to be said for the slow burn rather than the flash fire, right?
the reason that lottery winners never maintain their wealth, because they're not mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally prepared for what is going to happen to them in that moment. And so assessing your idea of what it is that you want is like, okay, this is what I want, or this is what I think I want. And then sit with yourself and imagine your day, your week, your month, your year with that. Imagine it, visualize it, live it in that moment, live what it is that you think you desire, and then you will soon freaking realize why it hasn't come to you yet, because you don't have the capacity to hold it until you align with the reality of what you actually desire rather than what you just think you desire. Divine timing is never going to pan out for you ever, like ever, in
No.
love, in business, in anything. It is not going to happen. And if you manipulate it and you force it, then you're going to end up biting off more than you can chew, and it's going to end in disaster. So it's just really not worth it. Patience
Yeah,
is better than push, I would say.
I agree. And I think there's something to be said about the way things are in the world today that makes everybody like so anxious about it too, because we are living in a world of instant gratification. You want that book? You want that tarot deck? You want that toy?
Amazon.
And
Amazon.
it's what there the next day.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to watch that movie right now?
Yeah.
Netflix or Amazon or whatever, right? We are in a world of instant gratification and we're so used to getting everything we want now.
Yeah.
In a second, baby. Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
go play, honey. Go play, honey. We're almost done. Go play, honey. Go in the bedroom. There's toys.
Oh no, that was inappropriate. I was about to make no. Shh, Louise, no.
Um, yeah, we're in this just like my kid. I want to watch a movie, right? I told her to go play some toy. Wait, be patient. And that's the lesson we need to learn because we're so used to having everything we want when we want it. The whole wide world is at our fingertips right now. We can get whatever we want. Instacart, DoorDash, Amazon, right? We want food, it's here in a little bit. We want something from Amazon, it's here the next day. And we're not used to the reality that things take time. And
I
it's not just business building, it's life in general takes time.
Yeah, I have this thing where I always say,
Okay, go play in your bedroom.
the thing I always say is that I would love to have written a book. I would love to have learned to play the guitar. I would love to have, and there's, the outcome is like the desire for me, but I don't really want to go through the process of actually doing the thing. So, and I've recognized that in myself. And I also recognize in myself that the instant gratification is adding to cart. It isn't when it gets delivered. Like the things, like impulse buying, it's not, my dopamine doesn't come from when it turns up at the door. It's from hitting buy now, which is why I have got thousands of things on my wish list, because my dopamine comes from like, oh yeah, I'll have that, bang. And if I put it on my wish list, it almost feels like a purchase, because if it arrived, I don't care. I don't care when it's here. I want the thing. I bought the thing. The thing doesn't matter anymore, right? So it's like my trickery, right? And I trick myself a lot to maintain a sense of just not going off the bloody rails with myself. But for some people, they don't understand that, and I think like when you are when it comes to divine timing, and when it comes to that moment of knowing that you have just gone, oh shit, this is something that means something to me, and I'm dedicated to it, and it's going to have longevity, and I'm going to be able to sustain this, and this isn't like a dopamine hit. This is going to be, it's not for me like a hyper focus.
Mhm.
This is like a, yeah, this is what I need, not just right now, but forever.
Yeah,
That then is what I feel divine timing is. It's like, it's not a massively OTT excitement. It's like it's like a relief, or like a release, or like a sense of I'm excited, but not like excited. I'm like
yeah,
excited, and I know it's gonna hold my attention for X amount of time,
100%.
and those sorts of things. So I think when it comes to divine timing, it's literally about the ebbs and flows. And the other thing is the entirety of not forcing it, because if you force things and then they happen, they're not useful to you, they're not meaningful, they don't matter really, because deep down in your heart and soul that you manipulated that entire situation. And we all know, and we've said this on other episodes, we all know we are capable, ladies, and especially Aquarian ladies. We know we can get what the fuck we want whenever we want it, right? We know that we can manipulate the shit out of anyone. And then when you're faced with the thing that the circumstance that you've manipulated into manifesting, you're like, and the sheer disappointment that hits you as a soul is, it's it's soul destroying. For me, it's soul destroying. I just think
Absolutely.
this could have been
Absolutely.
something, and I have done this, and this person had no hand in this. I puppeteered, and then I'm left empty. I've got what I wanted on a surface level, but I'm empty, because you know what? They didn't want,
Yeah,
they do this of
yeah,
their own volition. And that is
yeah,
sad. That's where my emptiness comes from.
yeah.
That's why I don't do it anymore, and that's why I haven't done it for 10 years, and I
And
refuse.
I think that almost brings us full circle to coming back to like desiring and wanting and the push. Um, so divine timing is equal parts learning about yourself, what you can hold, working on expanding that slowly. It's allowing things to be the way they are. It's being patient. It's surrendering.
Witnessing.
It's witnessing. It's nervous system regulation. And it's knowing that what you desire is enough and you're allowed to desire it.
It's
It
knowing.
doesn't have to be too much. It doesn't have to be nothing at all.
Yeah, it's knowing that what you desire is meant for you, and that you're allowed to desire what you want, and you don't have to manipulate that either way.
Yeah.
You're allowed to just be within that desire. It's hard though. It's very easy for us to sit and talk about it, but when it comes down to actually living your life in that way, it is on a day-to-day basis, it's really difficult, because you do have to keep
Mhm.
like paying attention to it. You do have to keep pulling yourself up all the time. The amount of times I want to message something to a person, or I want to like you know, like guide events in my favor or whatever. And I'm like, no, you know, you really have to pump your brakes. You really have to dig your heels in and say, no, regardless of your fear in this moment, you absolutely need to sit with allowing surrender. And I'm like, you know, we're not used to Aquarians, we're not used to that. We're used to being the people that listen. If Aquarians ruled the world, we would be in flying cars by now, right? But we
Environmentally sustainable flying cars.
thank you very much. Yes, and there would be no world hunger, etc., etc. But we can't manipulate other people to come into their own conclusions because it's not ever useful for us. We have
No.
to allow the space for them to do that, and also allow the space for ourselves to be deeply, deeply, deeply disappointed in people, because
Yeah.
that's the ultimate thing for me. The worst thing in the world is disappointment in people, and it inevitably and invariably it happens every day. And I feel like I take the blame for I take like the responsibility for it. Oh, I shouldn't have even. And it's like, that's just people, Louise, that's just people. But that's the thing, it never lets up. The disappointment never lets up, and then I feel like a bad person for being judgy or whatever, but I can't help it. You've disappointed me, because you know what my expectations are of you they're way less than what I give. They're way
And
less.
maybe that's another tangent or another episode where it's like we talk about divine timing, and then if you're waiting on somebody else to trigger something for you, then it's you've got to look at allowing them to be who they are.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah, that's a different fucking episode. But what I'm saying in this one is that the divine timing is the knowing within oneself that people, for us Aquarians, we have to live with disappointment because we are the people that will always be so much more than I think most people are capable of giving us in return. And that's hard. And I
Yeah.
think divine timing will bring us together with the right people if we are truthful with that aspect of ourselves, like me and you, for example. Like, you know, we have these conversations. Divine timing brought us together. We have these conversations out loud. I don't have these conversations out loud with anyone else. So divine, and in the moment that I needed someone to have these conversations, oh holy shit, here's Heidi. And divine timing will always, will that is the difficulty for an Aquarian. It's like, with the
I
power.
mean, it's especially hard for us, but I
Oh
also
my
like
god,
I think divine timing for anybody is
sorry, we were talking over.
that's okay. I was just gonna say it's difficult for us because we're so used to like we're schemers and plotters. This is, where we're like, okay, let's map out the next like 20 years of our lives and we know every step and everything that we're gonna do and blah 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 and
And
how to
everyone
get there
else.
and how to like right. But I think even for people who are not like that, divine timing is hard because they're sitting there going, when is it going to happen for me? When is it going to happen for me? When is it going to happen for me? Whether it's a business,
Oh, that's
finding
interesting.
love, a promotion, right? Whatever it is that you're hoping for and being like, why isn't it here yet? It's because intrinsically, do you actually want that? And are you ready for that? Can you hold that?
That's interesting because Aquarians, we just go, um, like we accept divine timing as something that either will or will not happen. Whereas other people are like hell bent on like, when is it going to happen? And they're like, the desperation kicks in. When? And it's like, it's divine timing, fuck knows, right? But with Aquarians, we're like, there's like a real detachment, like it either will or it won't. It's either now or not. Like it either will or won't. Like, and that's quite, well, this is probably why we get called emotionally detached or whatever, because we're like, if it happens, lovely. If it doesn't, never mind, I'm great anyway. Kind of thing. But the divine timing is, it's genuinely, yeah, it is, it does boil down to surrender, and it does boil down to, it's not like saying, oh, just put up with your lot. It's just like, fucking let things pan out. Stop trying to exercise control. Yes, you are allowed to take charge over things, but don't manipulate circumstances. Because if you try and script shit with somebody else, and you are saying things so that you get something in return, when they say something back to you that you scripted, it will never, ever, ever be as beautiful or potent or important or meaningful as if they just said it out of their own, volition. If you orchestrated that yourself, and we are terrible for this as Aquarians, we're terrible for, if I want someone to say something to me, I know exactly what to say to them in order for them to elicit a response, right? We know how to do that. It's meaningless. When they say it, I'm like, oh, I really want to hear this. And then I hear it and I think that's only because I said that thing. And it's shit, right? So I'm like, you have to bite your fucking tongue. Like, that.
Yeah, does that mean that?
Somebody said there's like a thing, there's a quote that's like, the first blood of a woman, right? The first blood of a woman is from biting her tongue. It's not from the womb. It's from her biting her tongue. And I'm like, fuck me, I feel that, right? Because that is the truth. I mean, obviously that's different. That's like patriarchy.
Yeah.
But that's how I have to bite my own fucking tongue, because I know what I want you to tell me. I know right now, even with you, I know if I wanted to hear something specific from you, somewhere in me, I know what to say to elicit that response. But the thing is, that response doesn't fill me with anything. It's empty. And
Yeah.
so the hard part of, for all of us, is to not try to control these things. If I tell you I love you, it's because I'm telling you I love you. It's not because I want you to tell me you love me.
Hmm.
Right? So, and that's so difficult for so many people.
It is.
And
Although, if anybody says, Heidi, I love you, my immediate response is, I know.
I know, it's because I'm the fucking tits.
It's Han Solo. Going down the.
I'm like, well, why wouldn't you?
Yeah, it's like
I'm like, oh no, I don't.
Han Solo.
No one ever tells me first. Ow! No one ever tells me first. Oh shit, that's my fault. Oh fuck. Okay. Yeah.
So
Divine timing wise, you talk.
divine, yeah, divine timing wise, it's not to say that you shouldn't, if you are trying to get a promotion, if you are trying to find the love of your life, if you are trying to get a business off the ground, if you are trying to earn an extra income, whatever it is that you're trying for in your life, we're not saying that you shouldn't go out there and try for it. But it's like this dance with divine timing. It's this dance of putting enough out there with understanding it's going to come when it comes.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's a fucking, and it is not, let me tell you, it's not a fucking waltz. It's like a two-step. It's like a tango. It's like a paso doble.
The Charleston.
I wish for the Charleston was fun. I would say it's more like a tango or a paso doble, where there's like this push pull, right?
Oh, it's a bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
So if this has resonated with you guys, throw us a like, throw us some hearts, throw us a thumbs up, throw us some love.
What the fuck?
Yeah. If somebody's struggling right now with divine timing, share it out to them so they know that they're not freaking alone, because the number of times Lou and I go back and forth with, it's not working, it's working, actually is real. It is a real thing. And that push, pull, tango dance with divine timing is hard.
You know, it
Yeah.
honestly, and I'm sorry, I'm interrupting again, as per my MO. Um, the biggest thing for me with divine timing, and like I said earlier on, was just this massive thing, like the pressure of this is where I should be, this is what I should have, this is how my life should look, rah rah rah. And then honestly, just standing back from it and sort of detaching from it and having a little outside of the box. And as Aquarians, you know, we invent the box. I mean, we fuck off the box. What the fuck box? Like, no one else knows about this box. And then just looking at it and thinking, like, if this happened tomorrow,
Mm.
and then it was like, no. And then it was like being really, really real with myself about things that, and I'll be honest with you, and I'm obviously this is out loud. I can't go
Mm.
into detail, but there are certain things in my life currently, and this ain't going to be published for a while, so it's fine. That I am like not even just in this lifetime.
Can we have a
Like,
2-second break? Just pause it for 2 seconds.
yeah.
I just have to.
Right, we're back.
All right. So as we were saying, I love you too, Dahlia. Well, again,
I
why
love
we
you
don't do
too,
this while my
Dahlia.
kids are home. As we were saying, it's a tango and it's a dance, equal parts putting yourself out there and equal parts allowing. And as far as divine timing goes, people will talk about quantum leaping and quantum jumping
Oh, that's another.
and how to, yes, and how to get on, and how to collapse time and get there faster. The only way they're going to get there faster, babe, is by, as Lou likes to say, excavating, as I like to say, doing the work, healing, and coming to terms with where you are at now and who you need to become and what stories you need to heal to hold the vision that you want now. And that takes time.
It does. Quicker, harder, quicker, faster. Then Hannah, 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 Hannah. I mean, it sounds great. Like, I could jump on that. But slow success is where it's at.
Yeah.
And divine timing, shit don't come to you. It either comes to you when the time's right, or it comes to you because you need to learn a real bad lesson. And
Mhm.
I would
Mhm.
prefer not to learn a terrible lesson
Yeah.
myself. And so I trust in the divine timing of everything because, you know, the biggest evidence that we have is that up until this point in our lives, things may not be hunky dory, but they're all right. They're all right, right? And so we are armed with the ammunition, we are armed with the capacity to handle whatever comes our way. So we don't need to fear the future because we have the capacity to deal with it as we have had the capacity to deal with what's been flung our way historically. And stepping into who you have the capacity to be is really the true um, leap. That's the true quantum leap, is to say to yourself, I'm not trying to become this person, I am this person. I'm not trying to be this person, I am this person. But never ever forget that the reason that some things aren't available to you right now is because they're probably not meant for you, or you don't have the capacity to hold the space for that right now. And therefore, you need to adjust yourselves and you need to
Yeah.
say, okay, well, what is in alignment for me? The reason you have loads of people asking you to teach as opposed to you asking you to read is because your higher timeline is coming into play, and it's like this is your challenge should you choose to accept it. And then you just have to make your peace with what that looks like for you in your life, in your lifestyle. Like, okay, now this is my responsibility, so this is what people want, this is what I know I'm capable of, here is my capacity, here winneth, like here within, here winneth. That's not a word. And doing that in the right way that works for you, and then divine
Yeah.
timing. That is when timelines collapse. When it
Yeah.
all actually genuinely aligns. When you make peace, and when your timeline makes peace, and the universe says, "Oh, we're having a bit, are we?" And you're like, "Yeah," and it's like, "Let's do it then," right?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
if it's like too much for you, or it felt like you were like trying to give too much, or this, it's never going to work.
No, because I've tried to build a
Person's
larger
gonna
program
know.
around tarot in the past, and it
Right.
wasn't time, and I couldn't hold it. But I'm getting there now. And same with you, with what you're going through, and you're learning to hold the space for what it is that you're meant for, as far as, because I know what you're walking into, and getting people really into their depths of their darkness. And that is a lot for one person to hold. And so you're also on that same path where you're now beginning to be like, yeah, I'm accepting this and I'm stepping into it. And that also divine timing on your side.
It's truth is, and that's the hardest thing for all of us, is opening up to your truth and admitting your truth and expressing your truth and allowing your truth and making space for your truth, and then your truth, and then like not letting anyone else tell you how to do it. Like,
Yeah.
and it's difficult,
And that's it.
but then when you start doing it, it's the easiest thing in the world. It
Yeah.
becomes, it just is it, and you get to just be, and then your shit just is, and it's like, and that is, to me, the very definition and epitome of divine timing.
Yeah.
All right, let's play it out. We don't talk about Bruno, no, no, no. We don't talk about Bruno. It was my wedding day, and there wasn't a cloud in the, no clouds allowed in the sky. Bruno was in with a mischievous kid. Thunder, you're telling this story, all right? It looks like rain.
The umbrella. We're singing and dancing this one out, guys. That's how we're closing it.
I sang this to this guy, like my mate, the other day, and then like he messaged me in the morning. He was like, "We absolutely do never not need to talk about Bruno," and I was like, "Oh," and I've not listened to the voice note back, but I probably think I'm just like going mental. Okay, cool. Well, thanks ever so much, everyone, for joining us. You listen. I know the song says we don't, but we definitely do need to talk about Bruno if that floats your boat, if that butters your bagel. Let us know with hearts, comments, shares, subscriptions, and definitely put your pants on the notifications. I mean, basically right now we're Thursdays at 6 p.m. or GMT.
1 p.m. EST.
1 p.m. EST until the time zones fuck us all over. But definitely all me and Heidi want from you is to get involved. The reason we have these conversations out loud is so that we can include other people in conversations that not everyone has out loud. So please let us know what you reckon. Tell us what you agree with, what you don't agree with, more importantly. Shout us out, shout us up, agree, disagree, get involved. That's the best thing for us. Please suggest some other things that we could talk about. If you were interested in anything that we were talking about that you'd like us to go more in depth on, let us know that, because I mean, we're here to stay, baby.
You can't get rid of us that easily. Sorry.
Oh, we just talk about it.
We ain't going nowhere. We're stuck. You're stuck with us. Sorry.
Forever. Sorry, not sorry.
Forever.
All right, so recording ending now. Love y'all.